Hey guys, so we're gonna talk some shit about Robinhood. Welcome to Stock Overflow. I am Matt. Welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about stocks, investing, personal finance from the perspective of my own personal financial journey. And today we're gonna talk about some shit. So about a year ago, or close to a year ago, I made a couple of videos about me hating Robinhood and switching to Fidelity, which you can find up here. Or you can find in my popular uploads because recently they've become the most popular videos of my channel. I can't imagine why. Now obviously a lot has happened in the Robinhood world since those videos, so I kind of want to give an updated video, given current events and talk about why I dislike Robinhood so much, and I want to talk about what I think their worst problem is. So I started investing back in 2019. My platform was Robinhood. I started my YouTube channel in February of 2020. And I continue to use Robinhood. You can check out my first couple of videos and, you can see me using the Robinhood app. Well, then March happened. Around the beginning of March of last year, the stock market kind of crashed a little bit. For some unexplained reason. And maybe it had something to do with the entire country shutting down. And I think the entire world shut down, for that matter. And then on the day that the stock market tanked, on the worst day possible for a brokerage to crash, Robinhood crashed. And it didn't crash once, but it crashed 3 times. Now that's a huge fucking problem when you can't trade your money. Like, imagine if I didn't have a whole lot of money invested at the time, but imagine if I did. And I was waiting for a, favorable conditions in the market for me to invest. And then the market crashed, and then that was my day to really buy in heavy, and I go to use Robinhood, and that shit doesn't fucking work, and it doesn't fucking work the entire day. That's a problem. And a lot of people had it worse. A lot of people had options. A lot of people, this may have been their day to sell or whatever. They wanted to get out of the market, and they couldn't do it. A lot of people had a lot of problems, and they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't log into the app. They couldn't see their account balance. They couldn't buy stocks. They couldn't sell stocks. They couldn't do shit. And the worst problem, which I'm going to get to at the end, it was present then, but we'll get to it. By the end of the day, the app came back up, and then it crashed again the next fucking day. Like, imagine, like that's going to shake your faith in the fucking brokerage, isn't it? It did it several more times, and then after that, there were a couple of near issues like slowdowns and shit. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on that because you can watch all that in those videos I linked. But that was a huge problem. And that was a turnoff for a lot of people. And a lot of people bailed out of Robinhood then. But also, a lot of people stuck with them. But eventually it got fixed. And it's remained fixed. However, the market really hasn't tanked since. So we have yet to see if whatever Robinhood did to fix it is going to fix it, going to remain fixed the next time the market crashes. Another thing later on that year, and I'm not going to link it because I feel it's not right, but you can look it up. There was a kid or a young adult who was trading options through Robinhood. Something happened, and he ended up with a negative $700,000 balance on his account, and because of that, he offed himself. Now, I don't know enough about options trading through Robinhood or the interface, so I can't really comment on that. I don't know exactly what went wrong, but apparently it was some sort of a graphical glitch or something that caused all that. And I gotta say, the worst problem at the end, that was present there too. That was, I don't know if we can entirely blame Robinhood on that, but that was another bit of negative news that Robinhood had found itself in. Robinhood, you'll see a theme here that Robinhood doesn't really involve itself in good news. The thing about a lot of brokerages is that you don't hear about them. And that's because you're not supposed to. They're just supposed to sit in the background and do stock shit. But we keep hearing about Robinhood, don't we? And then we got this issue and this issue here. We'll start with this first. This happened at the end of last year. So I will be the first to admit that the Robinhood app is much better than the Fidelity app. And I thought, until this bit of news, I thought that was a good thing for Robinhood because the Robinhood app is easy to use. It plays bells and whistles and shit. It's very easy to buy and sell stocks. With Fidelity, you have to go through Windows and shit to get that done. And like I said, I thought that was a good thing for Robinhood. But apparently that's a problem, and gamification is a thing. Robinhood recently got in trouble with the SEC for gamifying its stock trading. And now that I think about it, I mean, that's exactly what they did. I mean, it's easy to buy and sell stocks. It makes a little sound when you buy it. It makes a little swoosh when you buy it and when you sell it. Remember, they had that fucking cash management app that they were rolling out to new customers, but they did it on a tiered schedule so that you had to wait for it. And while waiting for it, like, you had to bring up that window and you had to tap that little fucking card over and over again. And every time you tapped, you moved ahead one place in line. Yeah, that's gamification. God fucking damn that app. Gamification is a powerful tool, and it can be used for good and getting you to exercise more, eat better, save more, and so on. When these nudges, notifications, achievements, and other psychological tools, which Robinhood definitely has been using, are turned towards investing, however, it erases the already thin line between playing the market and playing the slots. Yeah, it turned it into a game. And then the other part comes straight from the SEC website itself. SEC charges Robinhood Financial with misleading customers about revenue sources and failing to satisfy duty of best execution. And this isn't just a charge. I mean, Robinhood already paid the money to settle the charges. So, I don't know if that's an admission of guilt or not, but Robinhood didn't really fight it. And according to one of the statements here, Robinhood provided misleading information to customers about the true cost of choosing to trade with the firm, said the director of the SEC's Enforcement Division. Brokerage firms cannot mislead customers about order execution quality. Also, and this is key here, Robinhood failed to seek to obtain the best reasonably available terms when executing a customer's orders, causing customers to lose tens of millions of dollars, said Joseph Sansone. Sansone? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Today's action sends a clear message that the commission will not allow brokers to ignore their obligations to customers. And Robinhood is supposed to be, actually, the name Robinhood. I mean, the name Robinhood is an archetype for a hero, or an anti-hero, whatever you want to call him, who steals from the rich and gives to the poor. He's supposed to be standing up for the common man. But Robinhood's actions as of late have not been doing that. And the SEC charged them for it. But it doesn't stop there, as you all well know. As you guys well know, there is a sort of a war going on between retail investors, Wall Street bets and all that, and then the hedge funds. Stocks like Gamestop and AMC and stuff, they are the tools, which we are not going to go into right now because that is way outside my league. The whole point of this video is fuck Robinhood. That's it. Robinhood, among other brokerages, some other brokerages, because not Fidelity, at least, block purchases of GameStop, AMC, and all the others that are involved in this whole war thing. Now, there is a lot of speculation as to why Robinhood did it. Robinhood said that they did it in order to protect the investor. But, I mean, this seemed like the opposite of what the real, well, I guess the story Robinhood would have done. Because instead of fighting for the little guy, the Robinhood seemed to be fighting for the investors. Exactly the kind of thing the SEC dinged Robinhood for in December. Now, it is also interesting to note that Robinhood is not the brokerage himself. It's more of the middleman. It facilitates trades between itself and Citadel, which is his backer, I think. And Citadel lost a lot of money when the whole GameStop thing happened. A rumor, which is all it is, this is all alleged, is that Citadel might have stopped it. That may or may not be true. That's not for me to answer, but I do have some questions. But Graham Stephan also released a video giving a different perspective, which the Webull CEO also helped corroborate. He theorized, and this is just also his opinion. I mean, we don't know whether he's right or wrong. He doesn't know whether he's right or wrong. Just pure speculation that maybe because Robinhood wasn't the only one to shut down buys of GameStop. It was, a lot of other brokerages, and I think they went through Apex Clearing, and there may have been an issue with Apex Clearing, not being able to fund all these transactions of GameStop being traded at higher numbers. Now, I have no fucking idea if that's true or not. That's a theory, and that's what the Webull CEO also thinks. Well, that's what he said. So if that ends up being the case after the investigation is done, if it ever finishes and we all know about it, if it turns out that it wasn't Robinhood and it's really just an upstream clearinghouse or a broker or whatever not being able to, no longer being able to actually fund the transactions and stuff. Fair game. That is fine. That's something I can live with. However, if all that is true, why the fuck didn't Vlad say that? If that was true, that would have been an easy answer to give. I mean, it wasn't our fault. It was upstream. They did it. We couldn't technically do the transaction at all. We were blocked or something like that. That would have been a easy. I mean, that wouldn't. I mean, we probably still would have been a little mad, but that would have been understandable. So if all that is true, and this is true, and if this turns out to be true, and this is true, why the fuck didn't he say that? Why the fuck did he give that bullshit about, oh, we want to protect the users, and we want to protect the investors and shit? So Robinhood has been in some very fucking rough news over the course of 2020, and now going into 2021. And as the weeks and months go by, I mean, that news is going to develop. But like I said, this is not the worst part about Robinhood. The worst part about Robinhood, and this is something that's always been present, this is worse than the gamifying, well, depending on who you talk to, worse than the gamifying, worse than selling out the little guy, worse than, all that shit. The worst problem, in my opinion, about Robinhood is their lack of live customer support. A lot of you may disagree with me, and depending on where you are and where you stand with Robinhood, you might have a personal problem that's worse than that. But their lack of live customer support is something that is consistently bad. For example, given the crash of the stock market and of Robinhood back in March, if you had a problem with Robinhood, you have to email them. And if you're very lucky, you will get a response tomorrow. Like, that is a real fucking problem. Now, you may not think that's a problem. You may be happy with the Robinhood app, and that all goes well and true, and that may stay true all the way until you have a problem that needs resolved, and you want to call someone and get it resolved, but you can't. You gotta email them and hope to get back to you the next day. Now, I want to dwell on this next part, but I mean, the guy who offed himself, being able to call Robinhood and vent his frustrations and settle that out, like, that would have been really fucking cool. All this development that Robinhood is making with their app, making it easier and easier to buy and trade stocks. I mean, why isn't it putting its money towards establishing some sort of live support so that when people have problems, they can talk to a human being? Like with my app, Fidelity, it's an old-ass company. 24/7, you can pick up a phone, call a number, and talk to a human being. Now, this past week has been kind of hectic since, market volatility and shit, but you can pick up a phone and talk to a human being. And that lack of communication, that lack of basic communication, that humanizing Robinhood, I think makes every other problem that much more difficult than it could have been. But anyways, that's enough of me bitching about Robinhood. Thanks, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.